Did you guys see that? That vendor just slid the money onto the menu.
He wants to ruin our business.
And inject. Owners of an Iraqi restaurant had recently run into some problems. Ingredients in their restaurant had been disappearing without a trace. What's more, someone had even set up an Iraqi food cart right outside their restaurant, selling exactly the same dishes as theirs. This made them suspect that it was the work of a competitor. To get to the bottom of the truth, they called in a secret investigation team. The team installed hidden cameras in every corner inside the restaurant, as well as outside the premises, keeping a close eye on everyone's movements. Team member John and the owners sat in the monitoring room, watching everything that happened in the restaurant. Before long, a man caught everyone's attention. Hector, the chef, walked into the restaurant kitchen. He was holding a basket, picked out a large number of onions from the storage bin, and placed them in the basket. At this moment, Annie, the owner in the monitoring room, grew confused. Clearly, these onions were all fresh. There was no need to discard them as waste. Why was he putting them in the basket? But what happened next left Annie completely shocked. Hector actually picked up the basket, walked out through the kitchen's back door, and headed straight for the food cart outside the restaurant. Annie never expected that. The missing ingredients from the restaurant had all been taken by the chef to the food cart. He must be in cahoots with the food cart. Annie felt helpless about the chef's actions. Hector was an orphan, which was why they had given him the job without hesitation. But an unexpected turn of events occurred. On the surveillance footage, the chef actually walked straight past the food cart and kept going. Only then did Jack, the owner, realize that the chef had been taking the restaurant's onions back home. Although this had nothing to do with the food cart, as a chef, taking the restaurant's property for personal use was against the rules. Hector's actions had crossed Jack's bottom line. But what Jack never expected was that on the other side of the restaurant, a scheme was unfolding. Shortly after the chef left, the owner of the food cart actually showed up, carrying a box. He walked to the back of the restaurant kitchen, set the box down, then sat down in the restaurant's reception area. What surprised Jack even more was that when the restaurant manager saw the food cart owner, he greeted him happily, then sat down to chat with him. Within 5 minutes, the food cart owner left with a smile on his face. John in the monitoring room decided to play back the footage from other camera angles to find out what they had been talking about. When they saw the footage, Annie gasped in shock and covered her mouth. The food cart owner had actually hidden banknotes inside the menu. What was the purpose of this money? What kind of deal was the manager making with the food cart owner? We'll just have to wait and see.